Well,
yeah, in all seriousness, I gotta say, the reason I wanted to come on and talk with you guys is because you guys have both said a lot of nice things about me. And to clear the air, me and Jeremy we were bros a couple of years ago. We had a bit of a falling out. We got on the phone. It was a long time overdue thing. Got on the phone a couple nights ago. It was last night. And for an hour-long conversation, we hashed it out. We figured our stuff out, and we are good.
Yep.
We are once again bros, and it was very quick. It was very, very quick conversation.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what a lot of people need to understand. So obviously, everybody saw the video I made a few days ago.
Right.
It got over 100,000 views, and I took some jabs at Theory, and we had not spoken at that point. We hadn't spoken for, what was it, dude? Almost a year.
A year.
And because everybody knows I was on the set of the Vader fan film, and after that, we had a falling out, and neither one of us really aired it publicly, although there were some jabs here and there. But what Pablo Hidalgo stupid ass did is he brought us back together. Essentially, I took some jabs at him, and then I clarified with him, but during his live stream, he kind of took some jabs back at me. I seriously was about to text him that night and go, do we need to handle this like men, or are we just going to keep throwing little, high school shots at each other online? And I didn't send the text, but the next day he sends an email, and I just responded, said, give me a call. He calls me. Took us about 10 minutes to hash that shit out. Move forward. And I think that's what a lot of people need to learn. Like, don't let things within the fandom drive friendships and shit away. Like, it's not worth it. Like, all he and I needed to do over the past several months was pick up the phone and call one another. We never did, but there was some bitter resentment on both ends. Yeah. And we worked it out. And unlike Star Wars Explained, Star Wars Theory doesn't run from me like Star Wars Explained did at Star Wars Celebration like a little bitch. Men handle their problems in private and hash it out, and that's what we did.
And which now his wife is posting laughing emojis about me and gifts and stuff.
Yep.
To me crying.
That's fun. It's been a fun. It's been a fun week for you, though.
It's been interesting, man. Yeah. Once again, my face is in the headlines, and it couldn't be an uglier photo. God damn it!
Jeez. I mean, listen. To tell you the truth,
next one's gonna be me on the toilet taking a crap or something. Who knows?
To tell you the truth, I don't know if I would be that embarrassed to have the face of Star Wars Theory, and this being the face of of every article thumbnail. I use it for my thumbnail, by the way.
That right there is a moment of emotion and what Star Wars is all about. As unfortunate looking as it is, the snot coming out of the nose, but that is what
a booger, right?
Storytelling. That's a full-on booger. That's what storytelling can do if done right, and that's how you revert a 30-year-old man to being a little 6-year-old boy once again. That's what that face is.
I'll tell you what that face is. That face is getting me 100,000 views every time I put it in a thumbnail, and it may replace Brie Larson. It may replace Brie Larson.
Keep using it, man. It's in every article. It's in every thumbnail. It's. Remember last year with Eric Butts?
Oh yeah, I defended him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I made a full-on video, talking about him. Which, funny enough, got demonetized by YouTube because you can't talk about bullying, even if you're. Anti-bullying.
YouTube.
Yeah, which is interesting, but it's funny, you don't see executives making fun of that guy. You don't see executives making fun of a girl, let's say if they're crying over Ahsoka, right? Yep. But they want to poke jabs at that or make fun of it or whatever for whatever reason, because I didn't like The Last Jedi.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, we can say what we want to say, but the true test of a man is how can they handle their business, when there's issues. And like I said, I respect what Star Wars Theory did by reaching out to me. That's how I judge somebody. I don't judge somebody on did they have an emotional reaction to a movie or whatever. I have emotional reactions to movies. More so, it usually has to do with like a father-daughter dynamic because I have a kid, and so that's really the only element that really gets me emotional. But the point is that we live in such a weird place where there's just double standards all over the place, and It is what it is, man. I think the
But-
biggest thing that came from this was just the fact that it brought two people, you know, that had some differences and able to hash it out. And I think that there's a lot of people that would like to continue to see a lot of division. But
yeah, but see,
ultimately,
that's the thing.
Well, it's
That's
drama.
the thing.
Yeah.
Is every like as far as like fan, like I'm kind of like new. I didn't know Jeremy and Theory had issues until I talked to him about it. I didn't know like what was going on because the last thing I heard was he was at your Vader film.
Yeah, man, he was there. He was at the rap party. He was at the dinner. Like,
and so then there was kind of like this weird separation. Then for some strange reason, Star Wars Theory decides to follow me on Twitter, which I don't know why. Why would you follow an account that says Drunk 3PO?
This was a while ago. This was what, like 2 months ago?
It was a while ago. And then somebody, you did a live stream where you were like, how to help YouTubers, YouTubers or something. And someone kept sending you super chats saying, how do you feel about Drunk 3PO? How do you feel about him? How do you feel about him? They sent me all the clips. And then you were just like, I don't know. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just seems like people were starting, they just want division, fighting, war. They wanted to take, the bigger channels to go up against each other because it seems like that's just
it's entertaining. Yeah. They want to put you in a box. And I know, Jared, they do that with you all the time. They do it with me all the time. I'm either an extreme. I'm either on one end of the freaking spectrum. And it's like, dude, I'm not on this board. I'm just making my stuff and making my content. And I am who I am, I'm not a hater. I'm not a shill. God knows I don't get anything from them, and nor would that change my narrative on anything. I'm just who I am. And at the end of the day, take it or leave it. But people will always try to fit you in some narrative that they want.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. They're doing it to you right now because you're talking to us, and that's just so hilarious. And I saw people I saw people going, can't believe Jeremy's going to talk to Theory. Yeah, well,
I just get like why is he going on that channel? I was getting tagged and all that today, so I was like, well, that's fun, that's cute.
Yeah,
but you guys are nice to me. You're Star Wars fans. Like, I don't, what's the issue?
Yeah, I know, and I think that a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people want to see blood and a fight, and I do too a lot of times. So I completely understand that. But with this whole thing happened, and I saw Theory get tied up in it. I did ask myself after I made that first video, I was like, what's going to be more beneficial to everything to kind of patch things up with this dude that I know that I was cool with, and then kind of have his back against this shitty fucking company that I continue to go after every day. And they've clearly, they've decided to include you in the nonsense too. And it just shows their lack of respect for the Star Wars fans. Or do I just continue a little internet drama? And for people that think I just live on drama, I do to an extent, but none of you knew that Theory and I had an issue, really. I didn't make it public knowledge. He didn't. He wouldn't anyway. That's
why when Theory sent me the email, I called Jeremy. I was like, what do you think? Like, what do you want to do with this? And then Jeremy texts me. He's like, you know what? I'll get back to you. So I didn't know that you guys were going to talk on the phone.
Oh, he texted me like within half an hour of that email.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I just got home. Let me give you a call. And I called him, and 5-10 minutes we hashed out, what went on in the past. And then we were good, dude.
Yeah.
Then it was just like an hour of just shooting the shit.
Yep. Yeah. And look, I know what he deals with to an extent. He's a top Star Wars channel. He's got people coming at him just because of how many subscribers he has and how much influence he has. And I get that. And there's a level of, you have to be guarded a lot of times. And he was dealing with some shit when he and I got into it. I came at him, he came back at me, and we just kind of like fuck both of us was like fuck off to each other, and we just stopped speaking. But I understand it. Like, he's got almost 3 million subs, and he's got this target, even though he doesn't want the target, he has the target. And I obviously have a target, and I've kind of asked for that target, and I embrace that target a lot. And I have a lot of relationships with a lot of people that people have no idea that I talk to, because I'm not looking to create drama with YouTubers. I respect private conversations and private relationships. And, at the end of the day, if you do me wrong publicly, I have no problem making an issue of that publicly. But Star Wars Theory's never really done me wrong publicly. He's always been a stand-up dude. Even though we did our falling out, ultimately we're here in a good place like that. So yeah, and
we both apologize to each other for the things that we jabbed at, and I'm a better man for recognizing my faults, and we can both move forward and be friends again. That's great. Holidays do bring us together, right? So
listen, it's a beautiful thing to end, and it takes Drunk 3PO to bring these two massive whatever we're gonna call it together, and now everything is you
guys 3,700 people in chat right now. You think you've seen everything that we have to bring? You ain't seen nothing yet, because Drunk 3PO's got a surprise. I think you need to wait a little bit longer, Jay. Wait a little bit longer, but Jay's got
me.
Mega surprise for everybody.
Me, man.
But we'll wait a little bit longer. We're gonna let that one cook in the oven a little bit more. But it's major bombshell Jay is gonna drop on you.
Well, my thing was I was on Twitter when I saw the whole thing go down. You were like, "Hey, I'm blocked. Can someone tell me what Pablo is saying?" Because there was a thread of just basically laughing at you. And then
there's thousands, there's thousands, not even a small thread, dude.
What he did, though, for me, now this is me. I think the big turd move was to take that tweet and put it in his header, because even if you're blocked, you could still click on his name and see the header.
Yeah,
right. You could see the header. So basically, to me, it was like, wow. This fool wants to see what I'm saying. Fine, I'll put it in my header. Let's laugh at him some more.
Well, the funny thing about that is that when he sees that, and his PR account, I guess, where he apologized, said that he saw that, and that's why he put it as his banner. It's like he saw my tweet, asking, which if you go back, you can see my tweet, and I'm just like, dude, I'd hate to believe that you'd be making fun of me. For all I know, you're defending me on this. I'd love to believe that, what's the deal? I don't want to jump to conclusions here. 6 hours until I finally made that video or released it. And he goes and puts it on as his banner, and he couldn't reach out to me in that time. But then the very next day, when PR is, hot on his ass, he's then reaching out to me, and it's like, where were you then? I don't understand.
Yeah. So they sent you an email, right? He sent you an email saying...
He sent me an email. Head of PR sent me an email, and I got nothing to say. There's no misunderstanding on my end. I'm not an idiot, and I don't profit off of this stuff the way that people like to spin it like I do. It's like, I do have a very big channel to talk about Star Wars. This isn't my norm of stuff. I'd much rather go make a theory video, which would do so much better in terms of views and everything else than this kind of crap, which really just I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with me, is when someone comes for me, I'm pretty quiet. When someone comes for me, 100%, I will speak up. And I know, Jerry, you're the same way.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Jeremy doesn't give him 6 hours though, Theory. He
Well, see, but this is my mistake in the past.
You gave him the benefit of the doubt. Jeremy will he's quick. Like, he'd be like,
I've always been quick like that. And I learned, I'm like, okay, let's just chill out, because I'm very, very trigger happy. I'm like, let's just chill out. Let's wait. And because I've made mistakes, I've been trigger happy, and it always comes back to you, and you look like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I learned, and I'm like, all right, let me just wait. But once I got that hard evidence, I'm like, all right, well, that's bullshit. That's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I want to touch on something too that we talked about today. Actually, I called you real quick, and we were talking about some of the shit that actually went down that you were not aware of, and you were not aware of the kind of the hit list that Pablo put out, where he put Twitter handles of all of the toxic channels, myself and Anna and World Class and Ivan and Jesse Milestone, and he screenshot that, and basically, again. It's one thing if it's just some random person. When you're an executive of Lucasfilm and you're basically putting that subliminal messaging out there that you're kind of saying, like, these are the bad Star Wars channels, those are the things that you were not aware of. I can confirm that. And once you start opening your eyes up to a lot of this stuff, you're kind of starting to see, like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, this is some fucked up stuff. And And I think that has a lot to do with your reaction of kind of how you're like, your apologies to me don't really mean anything. There's a pattern of behavior here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what happened? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Theory.
No, man, please go ahead.
I'm saying what happened was when you responded, it just sent a wave through social media where Lucasfilm was trending #1. And then once it faded, then Pablo Hidalgo was trending #1. So somebody saw something. And then, of course, just to walk people through the timeline, Pablo scrubbed his Twitter. And then what was that, like 10 hours later? Or no, he didn't do that.
That was a fake account.
So that wasn't really an apology from.
No. So in my video that I uploaded today, which was a highlight of the podcast that I did with Mark and Josh regarding the topic, he actually, if you go and look, he changed the name of his actual account, and I'll try to find a picture of it. But that's his actual account, and he created some account, or there was some account that had a different name, and he renamed it Pablo Hidalgo, and that's what it is. Otherwise, it's his private account.
Was that his actual apology then?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's hard to tell because Pablo plays a lot of games on social media. It's really hard to tell.
He's not a dumb guy, man. He's smart.
No, he is smart. I mean, he's been Lucasfilm for what, 20 years?
Oh yeah, 20 years. Yeah. Wow. But he didn't start out that way. He was like the tech guy. Like he was like the website guy, right? And then once Kathleen Kennedy came in, he asked for a higher position and he got it. But when George was around, he wasn't who he is today. Right.
And now he's gotten a lot of he's elevated a lot in recent years. And it's just an inherent problem at this company, and it's just like people are tired of it. And again, if like I said this in one of my videos, but Theory's and he's the biggest Star Wars voice. He's got the most influence. He's got the most respect, and the fact that they go after him just shows like they don't really care. Like you remember the Mike look, I'm not sitting here advocating for Mike Zero's greatness, even though I love the fuck out of Mike Zero. Okay, but remember Ryan Johnson went after Mike Zero?
Yeah,
like
trash.
Yeah, like these are like. Say what you want about Mike Zero, okay? Motherfucker uploads like 22 fucking videos a day, all right? And they're all about the same thing, and none of them say anything, but I love it. But he's keeping Star Wars relevant, and Mike Zero's never, like, takes a pretty kind of, like, even though he doesn't say a lot, he doesn't, like, he's not Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, okay? Yeah, I'm just saying, he's not out there going, fuck Kathleen Kennedy like I do. And they go after him. There's no line.
Well, he's always been super respectful to me. I got no bad experiences with him.
With Mike Zero?
No, yeah.
The thing is like a lot of us have been dealing with this kind of crap. Like this is one of the things that got me really going with Ryan Johnson coming after the fans. When people would, this person, this was just a still shot, but the person above him was saying, wow, that The Last Jedi was terrible. And Ryan Johnson posted this and he let it sit there for a little bit. And then I believe he deleted it. But it's just it was just been a nonstop. That's for me, like that was Ryan Johnson just never stopped. And I'm telling you, the man was trolling this whole thing just recently too, talking about, oh, I got tears running down my face. And see, that was the thing is we went through all this.
Ryan?
Yeah.
With your situation when the variety.
So he's making fun of me too.
Yeah. That's what it seems like. He's very indirect about it. He's definitely indirect about it. And I know you've been off Twitter for several days, which is a great move. I suggest just posting Naughty Dog memes until you get banned, like I did.
Well, here's the thing: I post when I would go on Twitter, and this is partially the reason why I'm not so smart towards everything that he said, or what's the word? I'm not aware, is because when I do social media, I post and I leave. I don't stick around and go through everything. I hear things through the grapevine, but I don't know the details of everything.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is when the Variety, you didn't read through that, did you? When that article
No, the Variety guy emailed me before he wanted to publish it, and I ignored him. He's like, "Hey, can I interview for 10 to 15 minutes?" And I'm like, I just didn't say anything. I'm like, I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah, because that they
you're gonna hear it from my mouth, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But once that article went out, it was amazing to me that the whole premise of the comments, like you said, people from EA and everything were just making fun of anyone that had an emotional attachment to Luke Skywalker. So anything about that came out with like Luke Skywalker, like whether people were shedding tears, however it was, people were they were making fun of that. Oh, YouTubers crying. Oh, YouTubers this. It seemed like it all came around that article with the comments and everything like that. Just picking at like YouTube. It just seems like they think YouTubers are the bottom of the barrel. At least that group
they
of
do.
people.
They absolutely do.
And they're just like, we can't stand you YouTubers because we don't like your influence. You're taking, you know, we don't like that you can examine something and say, don't buy this or buy that.
Yeah. Well, look how they treated PewDiePie. You know, PewDiePie's been the king of YouTube. He never falls into the narrative. He kind of calls out things when he's not like terrible about calling stuff out, but he typically calls stuff out for what it is. And they hated him and they slandered him, you know, with all of these articles and the media would interview him and then manipulate his words and twist it and pretend he's this. And that's where it's at, where I'll say it for Star Wars Theory, but like there's channels that have like not even a fraction of his influence, but they don't criticize anything and they get a lot of shit. And you know, and that's just like Lucasfilm. Again, I said it in my video. Before I criticized The Last Jedi, before this channel, you know, my channel Geeks and Gamers blew up, I went on a personal tour at Lucasfilm. All right. This is when I loved The Force Awakens. I was like, oh, Disney Star Wars, greatest thing ever. You know, Last Jedi is going to be all amazing. This is before The Last Jedi came out. I had a personal tour of Lucasfilm from a Lucasfilm employee that, to my knowledge, is still there. I had a good relationship with this person and the company. Yeah. And then once I started speaking out in, you know, early 2018, that person never responded to anything else. I sent them, unfriended me on Facebook, unfollowed me on Twitter. And I understand when you need to distance yourself from someone that is highly critical because you want to protect your job. I totally understand that. And I was not mad about that at that moment in time, because as an individual that I knew, and I'm like, look, dude, got to protect his job. You got to protect your job. Yeah. But then you start seeing the rampant behavior from Lucasfilm employees to just everybody. And that's where it was like, this is not really an isolated moment. And
so anyway, this message is for you, Theory. This message is for me. This message is for anyone. And you might see the whole message tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Gina Carano. Didn't know till Luke came up at the end. It was a beautiful moment, and people should express their emotions.
I think that if you had feelings towards Luke Skywalker showing up and it being such the most amazing thing in the world, and it brought tears to your eyes like it did the rest of us, then just compound that off of being on set and the people that were on set. We felt the magic. We felt the inspiration. It came through on film. It came through our eyes. It came through our hearts. It came through everything. And if you felt that, then you're feeling the right thing. And if somebody else wasn't feeling like that, then they might have not been there or not felt it, but fine, okay.
All you people who talk so much trash about me on Twitter. Yes, no, good message. That was
very good message. Very well said.
Very well, very well. And I kind of got chills just heard talk about being there when you know, in that moment where they were, you know, good stuff, man.
Well, first time you showed me, I was already tearing up, but I can't. I'm not a good actor. I can't fake it. I can't do it again. But it was very.
I can confirm.
Message.
I can confirm. But
it was a very nice message.
What a day! What a day!
Tomorrow, I have multiple interviews with Gina. I've been talking with her for a good while now.
Tell her I say hi.
Couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything. But yeah.
I called. So I was like, I tried to call him earlier, and Jay never does not answer my phone call, and it went straight to voicemail. I'm like, okay, and then like he didn't respond, and then like he called me because I just got done interviewing Gina Carano. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, it's okay. You didn't answer my call, but yeah,
phone is blowing
You
up.
know, it would be cool if we could get her in a call too one day just for charity, and it just
hell yeah,
make it even bigger.
seriously.
Funny, you should say that, but we'll talk later.
Okay.
A little cliffhanger there, but yeah, man. I mean, this is look. This is
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm just saying, tomorrow could
the important message that I want everybody to take from this is that, and I guess I'll get a little kind of cringe here, but like in life, you're always going to deal with shit. You're always going to deal with moments, and it's how you respond is what happens. So like, you know, whatever happened with Theory and me back in the day, it happened. And, you know, we both made the decision to kind of take this opportunity to put that shit behind us and to move forward. And I think that we're better suited together to move forward and continue to try to show our fandom in different ways, because we obviously have different perspectives and different ways that we approach it. And I think
we have different perspectives. I think we just have different ways.
I'm a little more bombastic, I guess. Like fuck Lucasfilm, these motherfuckers.
I would say I'm more bombastic than you, but when I'm pushed to that point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like a bottle. Like I just bottle everything up, and then the moment something just tips that bottle over, I'm like a freaking I explode.
I can confirm as a couple years ago, I was in Tampa, Florida, and you just called me out of nowhere. You just went fuck off. Not on me, to me, like about, but it was other shit. And I'm like, bro, calm the fuck down. Like chill out, you know, because you were worked up.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so it's good that we've taken this moment, and now like the fact that Jay got Gina Carano on an interview, it's cool, crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and all of that's possible because of everybody here supporting us, supporting these channels, supporting what we're doing. We do appreciate all of you. It's all to help you guys, you know, deal with whatever you're dealing with. So
here's the thing. The fandom there's segments of the fandom that are hurting. You know what I mean? And this is to end the year like this, I think is, for me personally, it's beautiful to see because there's enough fighting going on. 2020 has been a hell of a year, some worse for others than it is, you know, now. And not only Gina, and speaking with Gina today, she's like this. She feels the same way. She's probably watching. Just so you know, and so y'all can say hi to her in the chat if you want. And she thought what was happening here is beautiful. As someone from the outside looking in, saying, "Oh, why is this a big deal? And why are people saying Jeremy and Theory they're gonna fight? Why are they saying that?" And then for it to be a little, you know, different, it's we've got to get to a point where we can disagree, but go out and have a beer after we're done.
That's totally exactly. You can be different people. You can have different beliefs, different ideologies, whatever. Different agendas, different political beliefs. Doesn't matter. If you're a cool person, you're a nice person, respectful. Dude, I welcome different beliefs.
I mean,
But see, that's the thing. What we are dealing with was not a disagreement. We were dealing with trying to humiliate Theory. Then on top of that, when that humiliation got caught, and he got caught, then it turned out to others like trying to say, "Oh, he's just grifting like all the other YouTubers. Oh, this is fake." And so when you're dealing with that kind of bull crap, the thing is when we have these personal differences like Jeremy and Theory had, what they see now is like, oh, hell, man, look, we can't keep them divided or anything like that. And it's like their voice just gets drowned out because we can't come together. Listen, I never thought in a million years, and I know half the people in the chat don't even know who I am, that Star Wars Theory would be on this channel because, listen, what, 12,000 subscribers, 13? It's just mentality, you know, you just think that, and
subscribers don't mean anything, man. It doesn't mean anything.
I know that, but for a lot of YouTubers, it's like to get someone like you on their channel, it's like, wow, that's a big deal. I'm just saying. And I felt the same way when I first got Jeremy on the channel. Then I realized he's kind of a dick, and I don't want him around that much. But he
has been in my backyard playing orange baseball.
You see how he's
so yeah. Go watch that video. You'll lose a lot of respect for me and everybody else in the team.
I just hope I knew I should have muted him like while I was going on the ramble, but you know.
You brought it up.